Hey guys, this is Carolina Varsity. We're going to take a look at players of the game for Week 11. I'm Dale Ross.
And I'm Matt Barr, the Pet Man, and I'll start with my game. We went outside of the Charlotte area, and well, the immediate Charlotte area, I
Right.
should say. We got a shout out on Twitter from one of our normal players of the week, inviting us to come out and watch him play. And we made a late change on Friday afternoon, and me and Brandon went up to Mount Pleasant High School, and we got entertained to a great game.
Mm-hmm.
Mount Pleasant played Parkwood. It was a well coached game, had a bit of everything in it. You should check out the article and the highlights. It was an awesome time. But you know, Cody Reece,
Mm-hmm.
has been here every week all year long. And I said, you know what? This guy does so much. He carries the ball so much. I got to give him a nickname. So I got a name for him. I call him the horse
The horse.
because they just ride him all game long.
Right.
So Cody Reece, the horse, had 43 carries for 274 yards and 2 touchdowns, and they won the game 27-21.
43 carries. Wow.
And I tell you, Parkwood, every time he got the ball, they're screaming. So I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy. They know it's coming, but they can't stop it.
Exactly.
So we interviewed him after the game. He's a great young man, great interview. And appreciate you shouting us out on Twitter, Cody. And great job, man. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Awesome.
Hayden Radford from Mount Pleasant. He's a sophomore, defensive back, had 2 interceptions and a game-sealing interception on the 10-yard line with 15 seconds left to seal the win. Great job to Hayden. Justice Isenhour from Mount Pleasant. He returned a blocked field goal for 90 yards for a touchdown on the last play of the first half. That score ended up being a difference in the game. It's awesome. For Parkwood, 2 guys. And this guy right here was very electric. He's going to be a heck of a player. Bryant Ferguson-Springs. Short kid, speed personified, man. They could not contain him. He had a 20-yard TD run from the quarterback position and a 70-yard reception from the wide receiver position in the loss. He's only a sophomore. And I tell you, he's going to be a big name down there in Union County. Colleges, you need to get on him quick because he's going to make a name for himself. And Caleb Washington for Parkwood had a nice touchdown run from a running back position. He played some wide receiver. Also played corner on defense. Had a nice open field tackle on Cody Reece also as a highlight. He had a nice all-around game overall. So that was a great game. Good job to all you guys. Thank you for that experience. And thank you for inviting us out Mount Pleasant. You guys were awesome.
Exactly. Thank you. And good game, horse. Wow. 40 plus carries. As we go through our list, we're not going to have anybody that comes close.
No.
So I went over to Rocky River to see Independence of Rocky River play. I was hoping I'd see a great game. I did not.
Mm-hmm.
It was not the game that we thought it might be, 45-13.
Mm-hmm.
But out of that game, for Independence, Cedric Stone, he's been on here before.
Oh, yeah.
And, to watch
Player.
to watch the kid play, he just does it in all aspects of the game. He actually had a 85-yard pick, very first score of the ball game.
Mm-hmm.
That was nice. He had an 82-yard kick return. That was nice. But he played good all the way around. Just on the field, he played great on defense, shut down. Just a wonderful ball player. So he's the player of the game. A couple of players should get some shout-outs. Elijah Small. He had a 44-yard TD and played some really nice defense. He's been on here before.
Mm-hmm.
Really played, I thought, a real nice game.
Yeah.
And Duane Perkins, he had 2 big TD catches in the game. A 53-yard TD catch and a 19-yard. I think that, if I remember right, the 53 one was right after that inadvertent whistle. That was the touchdown that came right after that.
Right.
So, guys, you played a nice ball game. You won big. Rocky River, it's kind of hard to find in a game, that side of that kind of magnitude of blowout, and things just went from bad to worse for Rocky River as they went through the ball game.
Right.
But Kendall Lewis, he worked hard on the field, receiver, played defensive back as well.
Mm-hmm.
He's a really nice ball player. If you've not seen him play, Well, you have. You've been to Rocky
Yeah.
River. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a good ball player.
Mhm.
He's my player of the game. I did want to mention number 73, Kevin Edwards. Big offensive tackle. I think he plays some center too, but a real big boy, 6'3", 310 pounds.
Oh man.
He's a junior, and he played well on the field, but what kind of got my attention with him was his attitude about not wanting to quit, even though they were getting beat so badly. And he told me, he said, "I'm playing for my seniors. I'm not going to quit. I'm playing for my seniors." So it was senior night at Rocky River.
Mhm.
So that's it.
That's awesome, Kevin. That kind of attitude will take you far.
Exactly.
All right, so let's take a look at some of the other players here in Charlotte. Andrew Dziuk. Oh, I know I'm messing up. Andrew for Hough. He recorded 4 sacks in the 30-6 road victory over North Meck. That's awesome. 4 sacks in the game.
Yeah.
I think I had 4 sacks in my career. So, hey, you're doing better than me.
There you go.
Adam Smith for Hough. 2 interceptions also in that victory over North Mecklenburg. John Newman, Charlotte Catholic receiver. He's a big play guy for them in the passing game.
Mm-hmm.
5 catches, 127 yards, and a touchdown. Had a punt return for 28 yards, and had a pass completion for 24 yards. Must have been a trick play there.
There you
And
go.
a victory over Ardrey Kell. When was the last time Catholic had a receiver that had over 100 yards receiving?
A receiver and not a tight end?
Catholic Cougs, I know you know, so if you know, post it. Jaret Anderson, once again,
Yeah.
144 rushing yards and 3 touchdowns in the victory over Ardrey Kell. Great job as always. In a losing effort, Jaylen Erwin for Ardrey Kell, 5 catches, 167 yards. Great numbers there. And of course, Bryce Maginley. 201 yards passing, 70 yards rushing, 14 tackles on defense, and 2 pass breakups. Good gracious. What else can you do?
Well, Coach Evans said that he could play anywhere on the field.
That's obvious.
And unfortunately, I guess they had to play him. You hate to see your quarterback making 14 tackles in 4A football. But,
Good grief.
wow.
And these two right here, I want to give a special shout out. Jakeenen Whitmire, Garinger quarterback, over 300 yards passing in the loss to Myers Park. And Jorden Freeman had 300 rush, unconfirmed, but over 300 rushing yards against Myers Park. Could be a school record. They're still checking the stats on that. I'll tell you, faced both of these guys last year at Harding in our first game last season. I was impressed with both of them. Whitmire, the athletic quarterback, can throw the ball. He can run. We're really scared of his running ability. He's a great athlete. He can play anywhere on the field. Should be playing somewhere on the next level next season. And Freeman, he's been Garinger's best player the past 2 years. He's a heck of a running back. Didn't get a lot of help over there, but he still puts up numbers, and he's a threat anytime he touches the ball. Colleges, you need to go over to Garinger, check these guys out. They're both seniors. Had tough careers for 4 years over there, but awesome to stick it out.
Exactly.
Stick it out, and you played your hearts out every Friday night. Shout out to you guys. Great job.
Exactly. Very, very good job. Keep playing.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you got to do. Keep playing. Okay, I got some players that came in from East Mecklenburg.
Mm-hmm.
It was senior night over there. Khamal Howard, 17 carries, 123 yards, and TD.
He's been here before.
Yes, he has. That's one of their stud running backs.
Mm-hmm.
Aaron Walker, 12 carries, 101 yards.
Running game getting it done.
Running game getting it done. And Trey Hodge had 3 interceptions. He had a total of 60 interception yards. So not bad for East Mecklenburg team.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to have to step up and play this coming Friday because you're going to see the ball thrown a lot.
Yeah.
And then the coach wanted to make a special shout out to his entire varsity roster, who has an average GPA of 3.54.
Man, that's awesome.
So that's really good.
That's what it's all about, right?
That's
there.
right.
That's what it's all about. Student athlete.
Exactly.
See what comes first. Student.
That's awesome, guys.
Yeah.
3.54 GPA. Awesome.
I know you got some more there.
Okay, I can keep going. So South Mecklenburg had a big win over Providence in a game that I think went a lot the way that I thought it would. So there was a lot of defense, played in that ball game.
Yep.
Holden Parker, he's been here before. Linebacker, he had 12 tackles. He was the first one listed, so he's the first one listed here. John Brannon had 1 TD catch. He had 4 tackles, 1 interception, 2 tackles for loss, and a pass breakup.
He's a very good corner.
So he played some good football. And then another kid who's been here, Mariah Johnson. He was 6 of 93 in receiving, but he also had an interception. So some defense, obviously, for Coach White was most important as he picked out his players. Defense was a real big thing. Now, if people nominate, I'm going to shout them out. So I'm going to give a shout out for Drew Seabrook, defensive end, number 7. We had a fellow who thought that he played big in some of the run game, made some big stops, so we'll shout him out. I understand from Coach White he had 1 sack in the ball game, but then Coach White said Jack King, that's their best player. So Jack, you continue to impress. You guys didn't win the ball game, but when you get a compliment like that from Coach White, that's a high compliment.
Oh yeah, great job, guys. Private school ranks. Charlotte Christian run game, 302 rushing yards combined. Justice Woods had 152. Elijah DeVoe had 150. In their 27-7 win over Providence Day. Providence Day had been hot, so that's a good win for Christian. DeMarcus Stratford for Charlotte Latin, 12 carries, 176 yards and 2 touchdowns in the 49-14 win over Country Day. That win got them into the playoffs in the private school ranks. MHS always nominates a bunch of guys on the site, and here's some of the ones that he nominated here. Devin Jones, Lake Norman defensive back and wide receiver, 6 tackles and interception, a safety. Also had a few catches on offense and returned punts and kicks. He's doing everything, man. We love those three-way players.
Three-way players.
Offense, defense, and special teams. You know better than that. Donshell Jetton, Mooresville running back, he's been here before. 29 carries, 144 yards and a touchdown. And the Mooresville victory over Lake Norman, big win for them. Parker Bain, Pine Lake Prep, who's having a great season, by the way.
Yes, they
I
are.
don't hear a lot about him.
Big game this Friday night for the conference championship for them.
1 interception and a fumble recovery for Pine Lake Prep. Cameron Miller for South Iredale, another team having a great season up there. Forced fumble recovery, 6 tackles and a sack in their win Friday night. So great job to Mr. Miller there.
Well, since we're up in that area, let's hop over to big game. Statesville Alexander. When I say big game, it was 77-43 final score. So I just wanted to throw a few stats out.
They start basketball these days?
They're playing some basketball. That's not a good basketball score, but wow. Some things that were pretty impressive to me was Statesville offense. They ran 39 plays, 529 yards total offense. Alexander Central ran 75 plays and 514 yards. 75 plays. So they had
Bryant triple option, man.
Exactly. They had twice the offense, but plays. So here's some of the stats out of that ball game. Or just a couple more stats. Some things I thought was important out of it. Statesville didn't punt in the ball game, and Alexander Central punted once.
Wow.
Travis Ramseur. He was
here before.
Exactly. So he was rushed 9 times for 249 yards.
How do you do that?
And 5 TDs. And 97 yards return. So 346 all-purpose yards.
That's over 25 yards a carry.
It's just unreal. And then he also passed 9 of 10 for 144 yards and 1 TD exactly. So, he accounted for almost all of the offense went through him.
Wow.
Almost all the offense. Isn't that something? McKendrick Clark. Just a mention for him. Statesville running back, he rushed 14 times for 121 yards, 3 TDs.
Mm-hmm.
200. They had 2 kick returns for 83 yards, a TD. So 202 all-purpose yards.
Getting it done too.
Defensive players, Dwight Mumford, 14 tackles, 2 unassisted in the ball game.
Mm-hmm.
And I like this one. And how did we say we were going to pronounce this? Lagrita.
Yeah.
So Adam Lagrita, 12 tackles, 6 of them unassisted.
Wow.
For Alexander Central, Devontae Clark, he rushed 32 times for 167 yards, 2 TDs, 91 yards in kick return, 258 all-purpose.
I'm sure he was tired.
He was working. So 32 times he didn't quite meet our boy the horse, but that's a lot of totes of the rock. Landon Hammer, he's been here before.
Yep.
Yep. 24 rushes, 173 yards, 2 TDs. He had an interception in the ball game too. Bryce and Godfrey, 99 yards rushing, 110 yards return, 209 all-purpose yards. Then over on defense, Corey Sherrod, 10 tackles, 2 unassisted, 1 sack.
Great job, guys. That's a long game and a lot of numbers. Awesome. All right, so let's finish it up here. Maki Jones, Central Bears, senior running back, rushed for 111 yards and 3 touchdowns. Also had an interception on defense in their win at East Rowan. Josh Orion, I think he's been here a couple times. Concord CFA Academy quarterback, ran for 4 touchdowns and threw for another in a win over South Lake Christian.
Mm-hmm.
Michael Young for J.M. Robinson. He scored 3 touchdowns, 1 on a touchdown catch, 1 on the fumble recovery, another on the kickoff return in their victory. So great job for those guys.
Yeah.
And here's a name that had a lot of news around him. Now he's on the field. Robert Washington, East Gaston running back, 186 yards rushing and 3 touchdowns and a 46-0 win over Stuart Kramer. Obviously, Robert Washington was the one they were trying to get eligible. Now he's good, he's cleared, and now he's making a difference for a good East Gaston football team.
And this kid got his first offer before he ever played high school football, played in the private ranks there at South Lake Christian. A lot of people were wondering how he would play in public, football, and they wanted him to play so they could see. When I guess he's showing he can.
It's pretty good.
He can tote the rock in the Publix too.
Exactly. Had him on here last week, and I decided to check on him again. Joey Bernardini, Community School of Davidson, getting it done again. 184 rushing yards, 3 touchdowns. He also returned a fumble for 40 yards and another touchdown in a win over Cherryville for Community School of Davidson.
Now, they have a big game this Friday night with Pine Lake.
Oh, they're playing for it.
Yeah, those two are playing for that championship. So,
boy,
we may see him next week.
Hey, that'd be awesome. And, of course, as always,
there we go.
We got to end it with Chaz Surratt. They said he threw up on the field. He wasn't feeling good, and apparently that propelled him to do this.
Okay.
291 yards passing, 3 touchdowns, 229 rushing yards, and 2 touchdowns, and a 56-28 win over Maiden. That's not a easy game because Maiden's a good team.
That's their big rival. That's a big rival game.
Yeah, so that's over 500 yards of total offense there.
So Maiden,
5 touchdowns.
Maiden, I won't say own, but Maiden used to be the power before East Lincoln kind of took things over back a few years ago.
I'm sure they'll be glad to see Surratt leave.
Yeah, they're probably you got one more year of Surratt though. Man,
that's it though.
What a bunch of offense. Well, thanks. Continue to let us know. Tweet us. Come to the forums. Let us know.
Shout us out. We may show up.
There you go. Thanks for watching.